Okay, everyone, thanks for joining me. For this take one episode, there's a few things that we want to talk about. First is our class for fall 2024 had our discussion over the best or favorite Disney Pixar movie, so we'll go over that. I also want to talk about Disney adding Premier Access at their parks, and the differences between those and like what we have as Lightning Lane and individual Lightning Lane now. The Simpsons are going to have an alternate broadcast of an NFL game on Disney Plus and ESPN Plus, and then Disney Plus launched their newest 24-hour a day streaming service or streaming channel on Disney Plus. And so first, for Disney Plus, I'm sorry, for the best or favorite Pixar movie. All for this fall, all movies were included in the vote. How it shook out, our semifinals or our final four were Toy Story number three. That was actually the number one seed. The number 21 seed was Inside Out 2. So a lot of the students in the class talked about how they grew up with Inside Out. And so a lot of them had seen Inside Out too and really, really liked it. On the other side of the bracket, we had Up at number 10 and Ratatouille at number three. So between those four, 21 Inside Out 2 beat out Toy Story 3, the number one seed, and the number three seed Ratatouille beat out the number 10 seed Up. Between Inside Out 2 and Ratatouille, number three, Ratatouille ended up winning. So that was our um, best or favorite, or voted the best or favorite Disney Pixar movie um, for the fall class. Now, the next topic is Disney adding this Premier Access at Walt Disney World, which is a really, really interesting thing. So if people haven't heard about this, I'm sure you have by now. This is basically what you would think of as a lightning lane for every ride in the park that you can use one time when you're there. Now, this is limited to people that are staying at deluxe and above hotels. I don't know if it will be expanded in the future. But it's a cost above the ticket price for you to get in. So the way that it is operated since opening up from the pandemic really is that you have your park ticket and then you can always stand in line, as everybody knows. But you could also buy what used to be called Genie Plus, which would allow you to schedule certain times like FastPass Plus used to be, allow you to schedule certain times to go and you would have a shorter wait for those rides. With they rebranded Genie Plus. Now it's Lightning Lane and individual Lightning Lane. Excuse me. And so what this Premier Access is allows somebody to pay an increased price to have essentially one individual lightning lane for every ride in the park. And now they vary in cost from different parks. Most of the parks it seems like are about 130 to 150. The Magic Kingdom when it first day of operation last week or a week and a half ago was $329. And it will be expected to rise from there on the more popular days. For example, you go on Christmas or you go on New Year's, it's going to be much, much more. So, what's really, really interesting to me is if you're going to the park and then you're spending this on top of it, that is that you're spending a lot of money on one ticket. So if you're going to the Magic Kingdom, and let's say your ticket is 150 and you're spending 350 on top of that, I mean, you're looking at over $500, sometimes over up to $600 after taxes and everything, for one day at the park at the Magic Kingdom. And this is, as I said, targeted toward people who are staying in the deluxe level of rooms right now. I don't know if it's going to be open to other people. However, one thing that we talked about in class, and I've talked about this a long time, and this is with entertainment, such as theme parks at Disney. This is also with concerts. This is with live sporting games and contests and things like that. The more that people pay for something, the more value that is put into that activity. And that works in several ways. That for example, if you're a college student and you have an athletic fee built into your student fees for the semester, a lot of students don't know that. So when they go, their decision to go to athletic events, maybe they don't find as much value in that. However, if you know you are having to pay something in order to get something, the marketing theory at least goes, the psychological theory goes that a person will use that service. And so that works kind of in a positive way, but also the more people spend, the more prestige they feel and the more pressure that they put on their experience. So if we're talking about um, a a sporting event, let's say you go to a major sporting event and you end up spending, some of the tickets to the World Series game were over $2,500 a seat. That's a lot of pressure that that participant is putting on their experience at that event. And so if your favorite team doesn't win, that's not an overall good experience, right? It's similar when you're going to a theme park experience. It's already somewhat it's becoming more and more stressful to go to theme parks when you have to be on your phone the whole time and you have to be looking at what rides you're going to book your fast pass for or your lightning lane for. This is the hope from the company, or what they have said, is this is a way to make your vacation a little less um, stressful because you can use these at any time during the day. You don't have to schedule these. However, it's also really, really, really increasing the price. And so it puts pressure on that individual for what is their experience that day. For example, if they go and they have paid for this premier service, and somebody has to wait 10 minutes to get on the ride, that might be okay for some people. For other people, that might not be okay. If they're spending that much, they expect to get on as soon as they get up to the front of the line, or as soon as they enter the queue, they don't have to wait, things like that. And Disney has always had the the access to, when people take tours and everything and they're on private tours, to go to the front of the line. This is something different. You're not, assigned a particular or a specific tour guide. You're on your own. What is this going to do to the customer experience? And what's it going to do to the customer experience overall? For example, I think everybody knows, or a lot of people know, how um, lightning lanes work, where the normal queue, the regular queue, if somebody comes up and they have a lightning lane, then there are more, the normal queue is halted for a little bit, and more lightning lane users are able to go up to the front of the line. So how is this going to work with that? Are premier access people going to literally get the very first? I mean, you walk straight up to the beginning of the line. And what's that going to do with the overall experience for all of the guests? Because unfortunately, we're seeing um, just this people getting more and more nervous, and it's leading to um, more and more altercations. And it's not just at theme parks; it's everywhere, and that's kind of what we're experiencing right now in many, many different areas. But companies have to be aware that when there is an increased price placed on something, there's also increased pressure placed on that individual for what their expectations are for that day. So I think it's really, really interesting. I'm interested to see how this plays out. If it will expand to other guests, what it's going to do to the overall park experience for those guests that are paying for the service, but also for other guests. It'll be very, very interesting to keep track of this. And now a special message from Cody's Inner Dialogue. Hey, Cody. Yeah, what's up, Inner Dialogue? I know in the past I sometimes have been kind of hard on you and made fun of you some. Yeah, yeah, you have. But, I mean, it's all in fun and games, right? I do the same thing to you as well, right? Yeah, yeah. But I did want to say that in those times, even though, we're having fun, I'm sorry that sometimes it's at your expense. Oh, oh, okay. I guess I'm sorry as well. You guess? No, Inner Dialogue. I'm sorry as well. Oh, okay. And I wanted you to know something. Yeah? What's that? You're doing the best you can. Oh, what? You're doing the best you can. Thank you, Inner Dialogue. Is there any, like, where's the punchline come in? What punchline? I mean, come on, the punchline, this is a bit, right? No, this isn't a bit. Just wanted to tell you I know you're doing the best you can. Oh, okay. Thank you. Something else. Ah, here it is. What is it? When I said I don't know why you do the show. Yeah, I remember that thing. That actually kind of hurt. Yeah, I know why you do the show. Oh, okay. Here's what it is. Okay. Inner Dialogue, why do I do the show? Because it brings you joy. What? Because it brings you joy. And hopefully it brings other people joy. Well, yeah, I hope so. And yeah, that's why I do it. Thank you, Inner Dialogue. I'm not really sure how to react to this. Well, I'll get back to playing pranks later, but I just wanted to tell you that I was sorry. I know you're doing the best you can, and that, this brings you joy, and I think it brings other people joy. Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what? I like that, Inner Dialogue. That's very nice. Anything else? Just plug the books. Yeah. Being a Fan of Disney the Book is available on Amazon, and the Prospectus Files is available on Kindle Vella for the rest of the month. Please check them both out. Thanks, Inner Dialogue. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, no problem, buddy. Yeah, I like that. Find your joy. Now back to our show, everyone. The third thing I wanted to talk about is last year, um, Disney did an alternate broadcast of an NFL game that was actually one of their London games. So it occurred in the morning in the United States, and they did a Toy Story Fun Day football game. This year, because of the success of that, this year they're upping the ante a little bit, and they're doing a Monday Night Football game based after the popular Simpsons um, cartoon. And so, excuse me, the game will take place in Springfield. It will be a Monday night football game. So what will be really, really interesting is on December 9th, when people tune in, they'll be able to watch the original broadcast. They'll be able to watch the broadcast on ESPN Plus, and they'll be able to watch the alternate broadcast on Disney Plus. And so obviously, this means that there was a high level of success last year when Disney tried this with the NFL and the Toy Story Football Fun Day. Before that, they had first tried it with the NHL Big City Greens Classic, and they've done a few of those games now over the last two seasons. But it'll be interesting to see how that works out and where we keep going from here. Obviously, when you have a Monday Night Football game, that's a really, really big audience. And so it's also interesting that they're using The Simpsons, which has a really big audience and a really big appeal to not just families and children, but children, families, other people as well that just enjoy watching The Simpsons and have grown up with The Simpsons because of the longevity of that show on television. And then the fourth thing is the that Disney Plus on November 1st, they started phasing out the Hallow Stream live channel on Disney Plus, and I think maybe by the second or third it was actually gone. And now they have the season streaming live channel, and so this is a channel that essentially took the place of the Hallow Stream channel, where you can pick up in shows as they are being shown as they're live, just like live television. With one caveat, as we talked about previously when we first talked about the live channels, that you can either watch, you can choose to watch live. It shows you how far into the program it is. So you can watch live, or you can select more info, and that will actually kind of just send you to the page where you can read more about the show, you can read more about the movie, and then you could start it from the beginning if you want to. Again, it's really, really interesting the way all of this is working. And the last thing I want to say on that is a little bit update. The last time I talked about this, I wondered out loud if like when they're showing a Star Wars series or a Marvel series or any series, are they going to play everything in its entirety? Sometimes they do, it seems like. I've also seen where maybe they'll play an episode here and there, and or maybe they'll play two or three episodes in a row, but they don't finish the series, and or they don't finish the season. And that I wondered if they would do that to have people then kind of pique their interest and then go back and watch if they wanted to watch the full series. That seems to be what they are doing. And so really, really interesting. Interesting four topics for this take one. And I hope you enjoyed them. I hope it leads to more conversation. And please let me know your thoughts on any of these. Have a great day. Thank you.